Yeah, it must be your sound, man, because I'm getting voice, as you can see here, bouncing green. Anyway, so they'll continue this whole perspective ridiculous argument for some reason. Let me tell him to change his audio through Hangouts. Actually, he's probably resetting or something. Anyway, for a guy that joins Hangouts every single day, this is pretty incredible. But anyway, so yeah, we have a curve calculator that will do this. And so Morgile came on to Nathan's show not too long ago and brought up this longest distance photography and kind of forgot to mention basically that, this further away mountain that's actually taller than this one is much lower. And even to me, I was doing that. I was like, man, this doesn't make sense. And then I actually took the curve calculator, Walter Bislin's basically, and you can actually do several targets. So you can do target 1 and 2 like I did here. And basically it shows how much is to be obstructed. So this is kind of the whole red herring here that they're kind of trying to apply it to perspective. That perspective has something to do with things being obstructed from bottom up. That's actually just because of the curved surface that you're on. And really, flat earthers will not be able to accept that. At this point, I don't know what can be done. Really, it's incumbent on the person to try to put away their bias for a minute and see if have as much scrutiny for the flat Earth as they do for the sphere. I promise the evidence will start matching for the sphere. So anyway, I did this on his curve calculator, and it matched up pretty well using Photoshop. So he says he's logging in right now. So we'll see. Can you hear me now? You hear me now, pal? Anyway, I'll continue. So we have a.
You can hear me or see me. I can't hear anything.
Really?
I have no clue.
Well, that's going to be a problem. I don't know what to say. Actually, at this point, unfortunately. And my MacBook just died, so that's great. Anywho, I wanted to talk to him about basically what he said on Jose's not too long ago about my observations. And I wish I would have rewatched it because there you go. Now you're getting Welcome to Flat Earth.
I know, right? Mystery Science 3000. Okay. Nope.
You got to mute on your computer or something. Yeah, there you go. Still getting crazy feedback, and he drops. Like I said, this guy goes to Hangouts every day on Nathan's show, and there's nothing different about this, but he'll figure it out. He's a smart dude. I have faith in him.
Yeah, I don't know what was up with my computer, but whatever.
Gotcha. It might be on Hangouts. You might actually need to click like the 3 dots in the corner or wherever it is, the settings thing, and then go see what your default your speakers are. Because I'm using voice meter, obviously, but
I hate that shit, and I still can't figure out voice meter and OBS for my PC. So okay, right now I've got the window that I just closed out from my PC. So it says Hangouts video call that I was just on with you, and I got the 3 dots, but it only says full screen help and feedback.
No, it's actually the settings. The settings is what you click, the little sprocket. It then changed, probably, I'm guessing, your default speakers. It might have changed your output, so it's just sending it somewhere else, I'm guessing.
All right, well, because I'm going to, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to do this.
I guess, really, I have the ability to share at least what I wanted to talk about.
Well, no, I know, but if I got to a point to where I wanted to contribute with some of my footage, I'm not going to be able to do that. So let me.
Do you have any clear, concise imagery? Because all I've ever seen is like out at the ocean, obviously near sea level, and like really crazy.
Jose Gonzalez, what's the matter with you, man? You get what you get.
No, I know, man. And when I was in San Francisco, I learned that quite easily. And I also was looking at a buoy where there was waves that would obstruct it and then show it again. So waves can be very deceiving near the ocean, and then you have all this atmospheric condition. So if you ever are driving truck or whatever you do up near Utah, man, if you can make it to the Great Salt Lake, you would love it, dude. It'd be an awesome little trip if you could.
Sure I would, yeah. Okay, so well, let me think of what I'm going to do right now. So I think what I'm going to do is just get to your channel, and I'm going to open up that page so that I can at least see what you're putting up that way.
You can't with your phone or whatever you're on?
Yeah, well, I don't want to look at it with my phone, I guess, because it's so small.
Yeah, unfortunately, there'll be a little bit of a delay, but I have a good connection, so it'll be like 10 seconds maybe.
All right.
So I guess I'd like to hop into, if you don't mind, what your criticisms were of my Salt Lake City imagery.
I think that it would be best if we pulled it up, because I could just talk in generalities. Tim, listen, I don't have a direct criticism of something specific. I think that it's an organic discussion. I was trying to think back whose channel I was on, and they had your imagery up this week. Was it Jose? I think it was Jose.
Yeah, I heard something what you were talking about.
Yeah, so I jumped out to that because that's when you got back with me and said, hey, let's do a watch and whatnot. I've got to restart my computer because my YouTube display is all white noise and it says you got to restart your computer. So I'll be on the phone right now for you. So go ahead.
Oh, cool. Well, I mean, what is this is pretty clear cut to me. I know the dimensions, basically the geometry out here. So half this building is being cut off. I think it's around 210 feet. And then obviously from the water's edge, it goes up 100 feet up to the base of the building. So effectively we have about 300 feet or more being cut off on a consistent basis. So I just, a lot of times I just wonder like why, I'll always hear angular resolution, Aries diffraction, all these other different excuses in my opinion. Why isn't it curvature? That's kind of like the question. I understand that you guys have the precept that the earth is flat or whatever, but like, why isn't it that there's geometry in front of you? And that's why this is doing this.
Okay, so I guess how far away are those buildings from you?
26 miles.
Okay, so that's another 7 miles than the Anacapa Islands that I've been shooting when I'm in California. So my question, I suppose, would be, can you zoom in any closer on those buildings? Or rather, okay, I'm not asking you right now to zoom in on the images you have on the screen. I'm asking you if you have footage where you zoomed in as far as you could to see those buildings. Or are you at the extent of your zoom with what we're seeing?
I was actually going to suggest this to you. You shouldn't be using digital zoom on the P900. So you can digitally alter it afterwards with Photoshop or After Effects or whatever you're doing. You don't actually need to use the digital zoom feature. So a lot of times I use the max optical zoom.
Yeah.
And that's what I was at.
Okay,
with
so what you're saying is that on the screen of the P900, there's like a 3/4 mark, which is the normal zoom. And then after that, you got the digital zoom. And you're saying that you don't push it past the 3/4 mark?
Yeah. You just don't need to use digital zoom at all.
And the reason why you would say that is because you lose clarity?
It's just actually not as good as what you can do with post rendering stuff, applications and stuff. It's literally taking what's already on the screen and then cropping it down. So digitally. So it's not actually zooming the optic part of it. It's just cropping it internally. And so you can do that much easier, much cleaner with After Effects or stuff. Yeah.
What you're saying.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, but okay. So what you're saying is that what we're seeing right now is pressed to the optics, right at the crest of the optics and the digital.
Not that one. I was some of these are just kind of trying to get all the buildings all at once. But the one I was just showing the video, this is going to be max optical zoom.
Okay.
And then I do pull it back just to show where I am and stuff. But I mean, why isn't this curvature though? Like I do this on a consistent basis. Why I do it up near the mountains? I'm high in elevation. So also on the Great Salt Lake, the water temperature is near the air temperature. So you don't have all these crazy temperature inversions a lot of times. So this is a really unique spot to do observations for the shape of the earth, whatever it is. But I'm just wondering why I go out every single time and never see anything that would lead me to believe that the earth is flat. All of my evidence doesn't lead me to believe that.
Yeah, I suppose that this is the issue where I'm going to use an analogy because in my world, Tim, this is a valid analogy. Okay, so as a Christian, I grew up believing that the second coming of Christ could happen at any time, and or if not at any time, it's still in our future. Okay, I am no longer of that mindset, although I'm still a Christian. I don't believe, in the same way that I don't believe the physical world displays curvature or motion to us. I do not believe, if I could go so far as to say I know that the New Testament will not allow for us to speak as though we are in the end times or the end times are in our future. And the reason why I can argue that is based on the text itself. But when I talk to someone who believes that their pastor has told them the truth about what this or that passage means, our operating system is I wouldn't call it a presupposition because it's not just something you suppose. It's not just something you believe. It's an inherent paradigm. Okay, so I don't believe it's wrong for you or for me to operate on our paradigms. If we didn't, we wouldn't be logical. We wouldn't be consistent. So the thing that I'm going to say in terms of answering your question a long way around that barn is that you and I are interpreting the information from a starting point that is completely antithetical to one another. So,
but your starting point doesn't, I mean, do you still like empiricism? Do you like the zetetic method that flat earth was supposed to be built upon?
Yeah, I would say that that's the primary mode of interpretation, is that we are able to trust our senses and we process the information that we're given. So
this is what I see though, as I get higher, and this water right here literally reflects like glass. This is why I come out here. This is not only a beautiful place, but it's amazing for doing observations for more than one reason. But if you can see where there's kind of towards the right middle there's kind of a break. But as the drone goes up, in accordance with altitude, it starts to show the peak that is hidden by really, really level water 37 miles away.
Sure.
So I don't need to assume R. I don't need to presuppose anything. But what I do need to do is kind of understand geometry a little bit and think to myself, which one works better, where the earth starts to curve away from you gradually or that it's flat? Now, I don't know why congruently, as the drone gets higher and higher, I can start to see a peak in the distance that I know is 37 miles away. I don't know why that would happen, but I on a flat Earth, but I do on a sphere, and it matches with the sphere. That's the whole problem here, is everything is starting to match with the sphere.
Let's not do that just yet. Let's not do that just yet. Let's you and I try to stick with just simply the empirical observation that we're having.
Cool. Yeah, I agree.
You know, because what I was actually looking at, because I'm on my phone, I was actually looking at center stage and watching the land increase. So go back, you know, yeah, okay. So if you're going up right now in the middle where that cloud is above and mirroring below the land, you can watch the band of land increase as you elevate in your height for your drone. Yeah.
You see more of the land, just like you see more of the land on this peak. You see more of the land.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to tell you that because I'm on my phone right now, I didn't look to the right where you were telling me. I was looking to the middle and was seeing the same dynamic, although it wasn't the peak that you were talking about. So again, this is where it makes perfect sense to me, even though you said it. This is you now talking. Tim said it doesn't make sense to me. ... But for me, it does make sense. I completely understand why you can now see the peak, or why I can see the middle band of land. Because
why is that?
Because you've elevated yourself and you have removed the angle at which you were looking at the land or trying.
Listen. Plain truth. I understand this is. Listen. No. I understand this is what Nathan says, and I understand this is what you're going to say.
Tim,
I do.
You're going to cut me off like this, and I'm just going to leave because.
Well, go ahead and recite what Nathan's going to. I'll mute. Go ahead.
Okay, I am not parroting Nathan. As soon as I'm able to sign up on, I've got the Hangout. Let me see if I can join right now from my PC. I restarted it. Let me see if I can join. Hold on.